Dear students, in this lecture you are going to refresh the basics of R programming language which was studied in your first semester. We know that R is a programming language and environment which is commonly used in statistical computing, data analytics and scientific research. The basic need or the basic usage of R programming is to explore and understand the data. We have to find out the different statistical measures using this R programming language. So data means some raw facts, which is the basis for all the machine learning technique. After collecting data and loading it into the R's data structures, the next step in machine learning involves examining the data in detail. So while we are discussing the machine learning introductory or machine learning definition, I already told you that machine learning means it is predicting the future based on past data. So data is one of the major aspects in machine learning. So the primary stage in machine learning is we have to collect the data storage facility. We have to collect the data. And in the second stage, that is abstraction. That means we have to examine the data in detail and identify the various patterns. That is, explore the data features and examples and realize the peculiarities that make your data unique. The better you understand your data, the better you will be able to match a machine learning model to your learning program. So R is basically used for exploring the data features like mean, median, mode, variance, standard deviation. Then it should be represented in graphs. Now we are going to refresh the basic statistical measures that we studied in the statistical class. The first basic thing of statistics is measures of central tendency. Measures of central tendency is a class of statistics which is used to identify a value that falls in the middle of a set of data. Measures of central tendency involves three measures: mean, median, and mode. Mean. We already studied how to calculate mean in our first semester. In statistics, mean is termed as the average value. In order to find out the mean of a set of values, we have to find out the sum of all values, which is to be divided by the number of values. Here we are having an example. For example, to calculate the mean income of a group of 3 people with incomes $36,000, $44,000 and $56,000. So in order to find out the mean of these three values, we have to take the sum of these three values divided by the number of observations. So 36,000 plus 44,000 plus 56,000, the whole divided by 3, because we are having three different values. So the mean is 45,333.33. So in order to do the corresponding thing in R programming, you have to give the command mean, then you have to specify the array of C of 36,000, 44,000, 56,000. Or you can store this array or this vector in another variable. X is equal to C of 36,000, 44,000, 56,000, then mean of X. We can do it in single step or you can do it in multiple steps. The next measure is median. Another commonly used measure of central tendency is a median value, the value that occurs halfway through an ordered list of values. That means median is termed as the middle value, a middle number which divides the corresponding data distribution into two parts. So in order to find out the median, you can use the command median. Then you have to specify the vector, or it can specify the vector variable name. Here the same the previous data values, median of C of 36,000, 44,000, 56,000. So the middle value is 44,000. So in order to find out median manually, we have to arrange the numbers or the data in ascending or descending order, and we have to choose the middle value. If you are having odd number of values, you have to choose the exact middle value. If you are having an even number of values, then we have to find out the average of middle two values. Hope you remember all these things. The next is mode. Mode means it is a number in a set that appears most frequently. The most frequently occurring value is termed as the mode value. A variable may have more than one mode. A variable with a single mode is termed as unimodal. Then a variable with two modes is termed as bimodal. Data having multiple modes is more generally called multimodal. For example, if you are looking at this particular data 12, 8, 7, 15, 7. Here the most occurred value is 7. So in this particular data distribution, mode is 7. So this is the graph which represents the unimodal and bimodal distribution. In the first graph, you can see that one value is occurred most frequently. So it is termed as a unimodal distribution. If you are looking at the second graph, you can see that it is having two modes. Here one peak is there and another peak is there. So here in this particular distribution, if you are plotting the data in the format of a graph, we get two peaks. So it is termed as bimodal distribution. So we discussed the three different types of central tendency measures, mean, median and mode. Another important measure which is related to statistics is dispersion or measuring spread, which is used to measure the diversity of the data. Another type of summary statistics concerned with the spread of data, and the aim of these dispersion measures are to identify how tightly or loosely the values are spaced, whether most values are like or unlike the mean and median. So this type of measure is used to find out the spread of the data, how much the data variance is there. To know the dispersion values, we are having 5 different measures: range, standard deviation, variance, quartile deviation, and mean deviation. So range, first one is range. Range means it is a difference between the largest and smallest values. If you are having a data distribution with 5 values, you have to choose the smallest value and you have to choose the biggest value, and we have to find out the difference to know the range of the corresponding data distribution. The second measure is variance. Variance can be calculated as the average of square differences between each value and the mean value. So variance of x can be calculated as, or it can be represented as, variance of x, which is equal to sigma square. Sigma square is a notation which is used in statistics to denote the variance, and it should be found out by the equation 1 by n sigma I equals 1 to n xi minus mu the whole square, where mu is the mean of the corresponding data distribution. So from each value the mean difference should be calculated, and that difference should be squared, and finally it should be divided by the number of observations. The third measure of dispersion is the standard deviation. Standard deviation is termed as the square root of variance, and it is denoted by sigma. In case of variance, it is denoted by sigma square. So standard deviation is the square root of variance. So it can be either represented like this, or STD DEV of x, or it is represented by sigma, which will be equal to square root of 1 by n sigma I equals 1 to n xi minus mu the whole square. So just take the square root of variance value, which is termed as the standard deviation. Quartiles means these are values which divide the data set into 4 equal parts with the same number of values. Here we are having an example 5, 7, 4, 4, 6, 2, 8. First we have to arrange these values in the form of ascending or descending order. Here it is arranged in ascending order. So what we have to do is we have to choose the middlemost value which is termed as the median. So in this particular case 2, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 we are having 7 values. So we have to choose the fourth value as the median value. So 5 is our median value. Median is termed as quartile 2. So Q2 is 5. Then you have to check the left hand side of 5. 244. 244 is the left hand side. From the left hand side you choose the middle value. That is the second value, that is this termed as quartile 1. Then after that you look at the right hand side of 5, it is 6, 7, 8. Again you have to choose the middlemost value. Here the middlemost value is 7, which is termed as Q3. So our Q1 is 4, Q2 is 5 and Q3 is 7. So here or in other words we can say that 25% of the data is 4, 50% of the data represents 5, 75% of the data represents 7. So this is first partition, second partition, third partition and fourth partition. So quartiles means these are values which divides the data into 4 equal parts. Another example is here. Here we are having an value like this. We are having 4, 5, 9 values and we have to choose the middlemost value. So our fifth value is termed as the median value. 12 is our median value. So finding out the quartile 1 and quartile 3. For finding out the quartile 1 we have to choose the left hand side of 12, that is 3, 7, 5, 8. Out of this 5 and 7 are the middle values. So we have, in order to find out quartile 1 we have to find out the average of 5 and 7. So 5 plus 7 divided by 2 which is equal to 6. So in order to find out quartile 3 we have to choose the right hand side of 12, that is 13, 14, 18, 21. Again the middlemost values are 14 and 18. So quartile 3 is 14 plus 18 divided by 2 which is equal to 16. So our quartile 1 is 6, quartile 2 is 12 and quartile 3 is 16. Then we have to study how to find out the quartile deviation. Quartile deviation can be found out as Q3 minus Q1 divided by 2. You already studied how to find out the different quartiles. So after finding out the quartile deviation can be found out using the equation Q3 minus Q1 divided by 2. Then like quantiles we can have some other measures. Numbers that divide data into equally sized quantities. Mostly used quantiles are tertiles, quintiles, deciles and percentiles. Tertiles means these are values which divides the data into 3 equal parts. Quintiles means these are measures which is used to divide the data into 5 equal parts. Deciles means these are measures which divides the data into 10 equal parts. And finally percentiles. Percentiles means this divides the data into 100 equal parts. And in R programming we are having a function called summary function which gives the summary of 5 different statistics measures, a set of 5 statistics that roughly depict the spread of a features measure, and all the 5 of the statistics are included in the output of the summary function. So summary function should return the minimum value, first quartile Q1, median or second quartile Q2, then Q3 the third quartile, and finally the maximum value. So summary function in R programming will return 5 different measures: minimum value, first quartile, median value, third quartile and maximum value. Numerical variables. Variables whose values are numbers, and a common set of measurements to describe values of numeric variables in the data is known as summary statistics. The summary function displays several common summary statistics. So used cars is a dataset which is available in the R programming itself, and in order to find out the summary of field year in used cars, so year is a particular attribute in the used cars dataset. So in order to extract the summary, just specify summary command. Then this is used cars is the name of the dataset, $year. Year is the attribute name. So in order to access year from used cars, you have to use the dollar symbol. So used cars $year. So this is a summary of the corresponding data. And here year means year of manufacture of vehicles that were recently listed for sale. Here you can see the summary function which is used towards two variables, and this is also possible. You just specify like this: summary of used cars, C of price, comma mileage. Price is one attribute which is available in used cars, and mileage is another attribute which is available in the used cars dataset. So if you are presenting the command like this, you get the corresponding summary like this: price, mileage, both things should be listed in the format, in this particular format. And the next thing is mean deviation. Mean deviation is the last measure which is related to the corresponding measures of dispersion. The mean absolute deviation of a data set is the average distance between each data point and the mean. So mean deviation means it is the average distance between each data towards the mean value. It gives an idea about the variability in a data set. The first step in finding out the mean deviation is you have to calculate the mean value. The second step is calculate how far away each data point is from the mean using positive distances, and these are called absolute deviations. So this next thing is that you have to find out the difference from each data point towards the mean, and we have to take the absolute value, and it is termed as absolute deviations. Then step 3 is add those deviations together. We have to add the positive differences together. And the fourth step is divide the sum by the number of data points. Third step, we summate the corresponding deviation value. And finally, we have to divide the sum by the number of data points. Then you obtain the mean deviation of the data. So in this particular lecture, we discussed about the different measures of central tendency. Measures of central tendency involves mean, median and mode. Mean means the average value, median means the middle value, and mode means the most frequently occurring data. And we discussed about the second thing we discussed is measures of dispersion. Measures of dispersion involves 5 different measures: range, variance, standard deviation, quartile deviation, and mean deviation. Range means the difference between largest and smallest value. Then variance means it can be found out as 1 by n sigma I equals 1 to n xi minus mu the whole square, and the square root of variance is termed as standard deviation. Quartile deviation can be found out as q3 minus q1 divided by 2, and finally the mean deviation. Hope you enjoy. Happy learning. Thank you.